everyone, it's Kate for the next Vlogmas video, and I am coming at you from a different angle for a reason which will very soon be revealed. But I'm very excited for these 3 videos I'll be doing, and they are about some of my favorite Christmas scenes from books. And many of these books are not Christmas books, but they just have very fun, cozy Christmas scenes, and I wanted to tell you about them. There will be, I think, 5 books in each video, and the very first scene is from a book that's so near and dear to my heart, and it's the Betsy Casey series by Maud Hart Lovelace. These were written in the early 1900s, and you follow Betsy Ray from the time she is 5 years old until she gets married and she's in her early 20s. And these are wonderful books, I think, for girls to grow up with, because the reading level, the comprehension level definitely goes up as Betsy gets older, and I think they're really special. But the part that I wanted to talk about from these books are the Christmas parts. And in these, the girls Betsy and Tacy, sometimes their friend Tib, and in this case their other friend Winona, go Christmas shopping. But what's unique about their Christmas shopping is that these families are definitely working class, lower middle class families, and so they don't have a lot of extra money to spare. So the girls all day will go through the town that they live in, the Main Street, and say all the things that they would get for Christmas, point them out all day, and then at the very end of the day, they pick out a Christmas ornament. And Betsy and Tacy always have a memory of that specific Christmas shopping trip that they took to do that. In addition to that, in the next chapter, it starts out talking about the shopping that everyone is doing for one another. And it's so funny. It says, after the shopping trip, one climbed through mists of secrecy. At the Ray house, one did. There was whispering and giggling. Doors were slammed when one approached. Rena was working with crepe paper in her bedroom. Julia kept whisking her sewing bag out of sight. Everyone cautioned everyone else not to look here or look there. Betsy, don't open the lowest sideboard drawer. Don't look in the right-hand upper drawer of my bureau. Keep out of the downstairs closet. And so I just think it's so fun, all of the excitement and these gifts that they've been working really hard on with one another. And then you get to hear about their Christmas Eve, where Betsy's father reads out from a Christmas carol. Or sorry, Betsy gets to read out of a Christmas carol because she's such a book lover. And then her younger sister Margaret has memorized "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," so she pretends like she's reading it, but she just hasn't memorized. And her older sister Julia is very good at the piano, so they all sing Christmas carols. And then a really fun part is that they turn out all the lights, and then they all fumble around in the dark to get to one another's stockings, and they put their presents in, and there's lots of giggling and just so much glee and happiness in that, and it's really fun. The next Christmas scene that I really like is from the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. This is his first full-length novel, and the Pickwick Papers is not very plot heavy. You do get to know some characters, but it's just very different from the rest of Dickens' works. Anyhow, I think what's really fun about this is it's a very, very Victorian Christmas. So, you get to see the parlor games that they play, and there's lots of cheeky flirting going on, and yeah, just lots of really funny things happening behind the scenes, and kisses being sneaked, and just very lighthearted and merry with probably all the mulled wine that they're drinking. And so the Pickwick Papers is a Christmas scene I definitely recommend you check out if you'd like to see some fun literary Christmases. The next one is a classic, and that is A Christmas Carol. This is by Charles Dickens, and it is the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, who is a very, very greedy man full of avarice, and the way he has changed on one magical Christmas night. And it is also a ghost story. And what's really interesting, if you read the Pickwick Papers, there is a scene where someone tells a story of a man very similar to Scrooge. So you can tell Charles Dickens kind of getting the inner workings of A Christmas Carol when he was writing the Pickwick Papers. The next one, and the reason for my different camera angle, is from The Christmas Mouse by Miss Reed. This is in this collection. But the reason I am at this angle is I wanted you to see my literary illustrations wall, and these are just illustrations from some of my favorite books that I have up on display in my house, because this is a book-loving household. And 3 of them that I have up just to make me feel all cozy and warm inside are from The Christmas Mouse. And The Christmas Mouse is about a household where there is a grandmother and her widowed daughter and the widowed daughter's 2 little girls, and their cozy Christmas that they have, and the mother and grandmother are, you know, they're having a hard time coping without, you know, the grandmother has lost her son and the daughter-in-law has lost her husband, and so they're grieving, but they're trying to make this a really special Christmas for the little girls. So it has some of the most cozy little scenes, and this is the 2 little girls trying to fall asleep on Christmas Eve and having the hardest time because they're just so excited, and they've just had a warm bath and they're very excited. And then this is a few days prior to that, their mom takes them Christmas shopping. But it is all rainy, it's not snowing, so they have to get all bundled up with their galoshes and their raincoats and their rain hats, I guess that's what you call it, and they just look so cute and bundled up. And then this is them for Christmas dinner. The mother and grandmother have worked very hard on their Christmas dinner, so they've done crackers, and so they're wearing the hats, and they have a cake to eat and just lots of Christmas goodies, and it's very cozy. So The Christmas Mouse is definitely a fun one if you want a cozy Christmas book. The next are the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. These are very elegant books. They're just very simply written, but just in such an elegant way. I don't know how else to say it. There's just something special about them. They're not showy at all. And the Christmas scenes in this are really special, especially in this first one called The Little House in the Big Woods, when Laura and Mary and Pa and Ma are living in the woods in Wisconsin, and some of Ma's family comes to visit, and they just have a very cozy Christmas. And it starts out with the girls making maple candy, where they pour maple syrup into snow. I tried this before and it didn't quite work, so I'd like to give it another try if we have a snow this year. That could be really fun. And then there's just a really special scene where the kids are all opening their gifts, and I'll read you some of it, and just the different standard that they had for what was a big deal to get. This is what they got in their stockings. In each stocking there was a pair of bright red mittens, and there was a long flat stick of red and white striped peppermint candy, all beautifully notched along each side. They were all so happy they could hardly speak at first. They just looked with shining eyes at those lovely presents. But Laura was happiest of all. Laura had a rag doll. She was a beautiful doll. She had a face of white cloth with black button eyes. A black pencil had made her eyebrows, and her cheeks and her mouth were red with the ink from pokeberries. Her hair was black yarn that had been knit and raveled so it was curly. She had little red flannel stockings and little black cloth gaiters for shoes, and her dress was pretty pink and blue calico. She was so beautiful that Laura could not say a word. She just held her tight and forgot everything else. It's a really sweet, cozy Christmas, and I'm pretty sure there is a Christmas scene in each book, but none of them to me are as cozy or charming as this one. And those are the books I want to show you for this video, so I look forward to showing you the other bookish Christmas scenes that I like, and I will see you tomorrow for my next Vlogmas video. Bye, guys!